salute everybody. What's good? What's going on tonight? Knicks Real Talk, season review, end of the season recap, man. We're gonna break down the players, man. Player number 7 8, player number 7 and 8. We got my man Quentin Grimes and Cam Reddish. We're gonna get it popping tonight. And we're gonna talk about these two young gentlemen, man, who gained for the Knicks this year, they season, and how they panned it out for the New York Knicks. So let's hope, man, everything go well. I hope everybody up in the building had a good week this week, man. It's Thursday night. Hope all y'all doing well. You're good, you're safe, you're good and everything. I got my man KJ in the building with me. Shaw Powers, KJ will be in the building later on. Salute to the chat. Salute to everybody. Let's get it. Shaw Powers, what's good? Your microphone, brother.
Salute Divine. Salute chat. Let's get it.
Yeah, real talk, man. Salute to the most powerful chat in the business. Real talk, man. Y'all up in here. And I hope everybody, like I said, had a good thing, man. We're going to get it popping today, man. We got the Cam Reddish breakdown. We got the Quentin Grimes breakdown, man. We're going to get into all that, man. Talk about these young men season for the Knicks, what they did, what they accomplished, and what they can improve on, their stats, their grades, their highlights. So, without further ado, we just want to get it popping, man. So, like I said, man, these two young men, one of them a rookie, one of them in his 3rd or 4th year, going on his 4th year for the Knicks. We're looking to see what the Knicks are going to do with these gentlemen. You know me, I'm really big on these two guys, man. I like both of them. I love Cam Reddish. I love Quentin Grimes. I'm really loving the Quentin Grimes game. So I'm really excited to see what that young man going to do in his 2nd year. I'm looking to see what Cam Reddish is going to do going to the 4th year. Be a full year with the Knicks. Hopefully, if they still be here by the time the season start. But I think we really got two good gentlemen right here on our hands, man. Shaw Powell, I think these young men, they're really capable. I think they can bring a lot to the game. And I really do believe that these cats are going to make a big impact for the New York Knicks. So let's hope that if Tom Thibodeau go into training camp and unleash these young men and give them a chance to really show and prove, I think these cats are going to make a big difference in the New York Knicks, man. So I'm really excited. But like I said, man, salute to the chat, everybody. I hope everybody's well. And let's get it. Shaw Powell, what's good, brother?
Ain't nothing, Devon. Just chilling, man. Listen, these two fellas that we're going to talk about tonight could be part of our future in the next couple of years. You know what I mean? They could be a start to something or something that's going to be a finish to all. You know what I mean? So these two guys could be very pivotal to our future right now. Reddish is a slasher, can shoot, can drive the ball to the hole, can play some defense. And Quentin Grimes, like you said, Divine, you always say this, man. We may see Quentin Grimes in the next couple of years in one of those NBA All-Star shootouts, man. He's definitely a bona fide stop and drop shooter. Get the ball up, catch the ball and get the ball up very quick. So these two guys are very, very interesting to talk about tonight.
Yeah, real talk, man. I agree with you 100%. I'm really looking forward. This is one of the most anticipated off season for me that I can think about in a long time. Last year it was interesting, but this year, going into this year's training camp, summer with these young guys that we have on this team, I am really stoked about what I think these cats could bring to the Knicks. So let's hope that these guys get their fair shot, get their opportunity to go into training camp and get it popping. And I love what Cam Reddish brings to the table. The cat is a multi-dimensional scorer, and I'm going to put his highlight video up in a few minutes. We'll break down him and see what he got going on. But these cats is real talented, man. I think sometimes when I hear people say the Knicks don't have talent, I kind of disagree to a degree. But I think these young men is special, and I think they really got a good footprint on basketball. So let's see how they go, man. I'm really hoping that Cam Reddish get to heal that shoulder. And I think it was only out 6 weeks, so it was only a sprain. So I think he probably up and going. I'm hoping him and RJ and the rest of these guys get in here this summer, put their work in, and really make an impact moving forward. I think Quickly gonna do it. I think Obi gonna do it. I think Cam gonna do it. I think all these guys gonna really come in here this season and make Tom Thibodeau think about what he's gonna have to do and what to bring these guys and get them in here and get them minutes. But these two guys that I'm about to put up on highlights we talking about tonight, to me, change it to trajectory of what the Knicks can do. I think this cat, Quentin Grimes, and I always say, and I keep saying it, I think he makes Evan Fournier expendable. And when I show the highlights, you'll see what I'm talking about. And I think Cam Reddish as well, you got to find a way to get that young man. He makes Alex Burks and all them other guys expendable. These cats is real talented, man. And it's about time that the Knicks just go ahead and let these cats open up Shaw Powell and let them just go ahead and flourish and do their thing. Because I think, like I said earlier, Quentin Grimes wouldn't have got injured and Cam Reddish wouldn't have got injured, I truly believe, this is my gut feeling, that the Knicks might have been in the play-in. because that scoring and that defense was special. And to see them guys come and get it popping with Obi Toppin and Deuce and all these guys, I'm excited about it, man. So let's hope these guys have a good summer, get their skills set together, work on their game, get better at what they get better at, get improved and much more. And then let's go into the season and see what they do, man. But I'm excited about them though.
These guys that we're talking about tonight, like Reddish. Reddish is a 4-year player, and he came out the same year RJ came out in the draft. If I'm not mistaken, if he wasn't top 10, also he was right under the 10th position, 10th or 11th or something like 10th. That. 10th. All right. So he's a very good guy coming out of Duke. He's played pretty good ball with his teams he's been on. I just think he needs time, and I think this year is going to be the year for him to really blow up, because this is soon to be a salary year for him, so he can increase his pay. So I think he's really going to come out. I think he's going to try to stay more dedicated to being healthier this year, but I believe he is going to have a very good year, and I hope that we can have RJ and Cam Reddish on the floor at the same time this year. So I think Cam Reddish, like I said, he's a slasher. He can, if you give him some room, he's gonna throw it on you. He's lanky, something that we really don't have. Long arms, big shoulders, 6'8", 6'7", 6'8". Shoot the ball in your eyes. So let's see what happens with Cam Reddish.
Yeah, like Dwayne said, Darren said, I agree with you 100%. If he stay healthy, man,
he stay healthy.
Stay healthy. Good shot, Darren. Real talk. He could be special, man. Because I just think that he got even when he was coming out of Duke, to me, I was like, they sleeping on this cat can shoot the ball well. I mean, it was Zion and RJ, but I'm like, they sleeping on this Cam Reddish dude. I mean, because this guy got multi-dimension everything. Obviously, he shoots the ball pretty well. I mean, I go with his career stats, but they don't really tell you the whole story with him, because you think about it when he came to Atlanta, just like RJ Barrett, they came to teams that was really looking to go to the playoffs. They had guys in front of them, like the Bogdanoviches of the world and the Hunters and all these guys. So, they put guys in front of him that, didn't give it kind of impeded his maturation, I would say. It kind of put a damper on his maturation. But I do think that he still got an opportunity to make up for all that this year, man. Let's drop the Cam Reddish real quick. Let's get into his highlights, man, because I think his highlights is interesting. And I think, you know what, we know they highlights, but look at his skill set. Just look at the things that he can do. And then it tells me why I think the Knicks better make sure they keep this man in the fold. Hopefully that he can come out here and get a popping, man. So let's get into the Cam Reddish highlights real quick. Then we get back at the conversation, man. Yeah, man, that's just a few highlights. Trying to tell you, he got it, bro. The Knicks just need to let that man get in there and get it popping. And I think this guy got a skill set that's really that's interesting to me, man. He got the size, he got the shot, He just got the overall game. He multi-level score. He can get it inside, outside. You know what I mean? Like he really impresses me, man. And I like what he brings to the table, Child Power. So I'm hoping the Knicks will find a way to get in there and let him just earn that spot. That's why I think coming to training camp, I wish I was a fly on the wall in training camp this year. It's going to be bananas up in Knicks training camp this year. And all depends what happened with the draft or any trade, whatever going on. But I hope a lot of these guys like Cam Reddish and all these guys get to stay here, man, and be a part of this thing moving forward. Because I think that boy got a skill set that that can really bring a lot to the table for the New York Knicks for sure.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this early on the chat, man. I don't think we're making too many trades. I don't think Brunson's coming. I don't think Mitchell's coming, and I don't think Zion's coming. But with that said, did you see Cam Reddish, man? Did you see them highlights, man? Could you imagine him getting 25, 30 minutes on the court? Left hand. He could lay it up with the left hand, lay it up with the right hand. He could drive to the hole. He could shoot the jump shot. He could shoot the three-pointer. He plays good defense, in the lane defense. When somebody's getting ready to pass, he's in that lane. If you on his side, he's got long arms. This guy could be one of our guys right now that you see him and Obi running up the court on that fast break that they had going on. Can you imagine him and Obi coming down the court together? You know what I mean? With RJ or IQ or Grimes coming down with the ball, dribbling that ball. Come on, man. This guy is a premier player. And I think, like everyone else I've seen in the chat, I've seen a couple of people say this. I think he has maybe not the biggest, but one of the highest impacts on this team this year. His ceiling is pretty high. And if this guy gets some minutes, especially this year, because this is money time right now, this is contract year. I think this guy, if we hold on to him, which I hope we do, I think this guy right now could be something that we really need, man. We really could use somebody with his skill set, with his offensive and defensive game, and with his long linkiness. You know what I mean? Staying healthy is the key, man. We need to see him about 68 to 72 games this year, plus the playoffs, man. We see something like that from him this year, man. I think he can get a nice little contract, and I think we'll be at a better place than we were last year.
Yeah, I agree 100%, man. And we get into his stats. I put up the stats and everything on the board and let y'all see with his career and everything he's doing. But I just think that his overall talent is nice, man. And I think that was I think out of all the moves the Knicks made this year, that was one of the most sneakiest and best moves they could have made. The move Kevin Knox and get Cam Reddish for that Charlotte pick, because I don't think there's too many cats can come out of draft is better than Cam Reddish. So I think that pick wasn't that big of a deal to me. But I do think this man, man, you thrust him into this thing, man, and move some of them vets that we have in there and move them cats out the way and let these cats come here and get it popping. I just could see Cam Reddish and RJ and Obi Toppin and Mitchell Robinson and these guys, man. I just think that hey, you know what, Darren, I'm not mad at that. And I think, cause you know what, if you sign Donovan Mitchell to rock with these guys, he's still young. You know what I mean? 25 years old. Cam Reddish, man, RJ Barrett, Obi Toppin, Donovan Mitchell Robinson, man, quickly. I mean, Jericho Sims. We got a nice nucleus down here, and I hope the Knicks don't fold and on this, man, and don't jump the gun to get these guys who they want to try to win rings with. And just keep going that route that they're going, because I'm loving what the Knicks got going on right now, Child Power. I mean, these guys really got it, man. And absolutely, Keith Turner, 100%, man. If they do that, I would be disappointed. But I do think this young man gonna be a part of this thing. I believe he coming to training camp. We got a small sample size because he came at the trading deadline. Then he later on in the year, just when he was starting to flourish, Shot Powers.
That's when he started getting his rhythm,
getting it popping, man. Just when he was starting to flourish and starting to get into his game, he
on a defensive play.
Facts. He got hurt playing defense, and I'll take that all day, man. But let's hope that he really coming. I think these guys like him and the next guy that I'm gonna bring up later on in the show, Quentin Grimes. I think they make a lot of them guys we got Jetson up out of here. You know what I mean? And I gotta say that because I think that young man, him and RJ Barrett and Obi Toppin. Oh my goodness, bro. I mean, you talking about three guys who literally can get up and down the court. Got athleticism to a degree, can shoot the ball pretty good. Obi Toppin's getting better at it. I think RJ will bounce back and have a better shooting year than he had this year. So I do think if we can keep these guys like Cash Out said, you keep him and Mitch, Obi Toppin, RJ Barrett. Oh my God, man. I mean, and whether it's quickly or with Donovan Mitchell, like he said, or Devontae Murray or whoever. But I do think them four dudes can be special, man. I think it's real good. So I'm excited, Shot Palette. I really am, man. I like what this young man bringing. I'm glad the Knicks front office. I'm glad whoever made that move. You got to give them their flowers for that, man. You got to give them an A for that move to get that young man to get an aspiring contract like the KNICKS out of here and to bring Cam Reddish in. And I like KNICKS. KNICKS was my guy. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, but I think it was a good move for them to get Cam Reddish. So let's hope that he can come into the offseason, work on his game, get better at what he get better at, and then we take it from there.
The one thing a lot of people don't really think about or take lightly is how we acquired Reddish. We got Reddish for KNICKS with a first round pick. You know, a high scale guy. And the one thing that was a good thing what the front office did, we also received a second round pick back from him, and I think it was about 890 something, almost $1 million, also in some type of cap equity or something like that. Very good deal, something like that. You know what I mean? To bring him over here. The bad thing was we had Burks and we have Fournier when he got here. So his time, and Grimes had just came into his own, starting to get a little bit of minutes in the rotation and stuff like that. So the front office has some really big things that they have to do this year, and I believe one of the, it's like three things that they have to try to do this year, and one of the three things is and I hate to say this out loud, my man Mr. B, we might have to move Mr. B, man. He's a high contract guy, Mr. Burks. His stock is high right now. I can see a team wanting to take him, but we take him right now. But what we have to do is get him off the team before the beginning of the year. If we don't get him off the team before the beginning of the year, then Burks is going to get playing time over anybody coming off that bench. He's going to probably be the sixth guy, seventh guy coming off that bench. So that's going to limit some guys playing time in the second unit and also in the first unit. So that's one of the things we got to do, and we also have to see if we could try to move on from Fournier. Like you said, Divine, with the guy that we was going to talk about in the latter part of this show, with his time on the floor, he is obsolete. You know what I mean? He is like an obsolete guy. I was really high for Fournier. He stunk it up in the beginning of the year. I wanted Fournier. I say it again. I wanted Fournier last year at the trade deadline to see if we could have got him in here. I like Fournier's game. He could shoot the ball. But the one thing that I really never really paid too much of attention to was I knew he wasn't a great defensive guy. And at the end of the year, he did get somewhat better than he was in the beginning of the year. But his defense is lacking. So those two things are major. The third thing is A, B, and C, or 1, 2, and 3. 3, A, B, and C is trying to get off of Kemba's contract, trying to get off of Noel's contract, and if we can, try to get off of Evan Fournier's contract. You know what I mean? I'm on the fence with Julius Randle. If we can move him, I'm fine. If he stays, I'm also fine with that. But those three guys, plus Burks and Evan Fournier, we have to get off that time because Reddish will get. I want Reddish to be a starter. I want Reddish to start. I want Reddish to be in that starting lineup, and with him being in the starting lineup early in the starting lineup with RJ, IQ. Hopefully we keep Mitch and Julius Randle. That's a pretty decent team out there on the court right there. That's a pretty decent team, and very strong, very long, semi-big, and great defense. All those guys can play a little bit of defense when they want to. So if they all want to play some defense, we'll have a very strong team coming out of the gate next year. We gotta keep Reddish, man. We gotta keep Reddish, and the biggest thing is we gotta try to hold on to a couple of these guys that we're talking about for 2 or 3 more years, man. 2 or 3 more years.
Yeah, real talk, man. Yo, salute everybody, man. This Knicks Real Talk. We did this end of the season preview, player review number 7 and 8. Cam Reddish, my man Quentin Grimes. We going over the Cam Reddish situation in New York. I like what Cam Reddish brings to the table, so I'm really interested to see what they're gonna do. Let's get into his career stats and get into his stats, and kind of see what he can prove on, what he can get better at, and we'll take it from there, man. So we're just gonna throw up on the screen just what Cam Reddish doing career wise. Let me break it down for you guys. Cam Reddish in 2019 season obviously came with a pick overall in the 2000 draft with R.J. Barrett. Zion went 1, RJ went 3, he went number 10. He came to the Knicks, his points per game in the 4 years, 10, 11, 10, and I think 11 again. And then obviously with the Knicks, he had a short sample size. But what's interesting to me is how many games he played. His rookie year, he played 58 games. Then his second year, he only played 26. And then 49 in 2021 and 2022. Then the combination of the Knicks and the Hawks this year, he played 49 again. So his highest game played in the year was 49. And that has a lot to do with the situation that he was brought into with the Atlanta Hawks, with the Trae Youngs and all these guys, and John Collins, and they trying to go to the playoffs. He came into a same situation almost like R.J. Barrett did, where we had Mook Morris in front of him, Bobby Portis, and all that. Even though he got to play, he didn't come in as the main guy. You know what I mean? The chance like John Morant did. So, but if you look at his numbers overall, his best 3-point shooting percentage was pretty much in 2021-22. It was this year. He was really starting to get it popping. He was shooting at almost 37% from the 3-point line. And the year before that was 35%. And obviously the 2 years before that he didn't have enough games to me to really get in the grooves to do that. But then you look at his 2-point percentage, which is something that he probably got to work on. But I think when you get it more time in, shot powers, you get it more of a rhythm. You get into the flow of the game and things of that nature. And but I do like what he brings to the table, and I think his size makes a difference. He's 6'8", probably Danny. Look like he got almost a 7-foot wingspan, almost to me. You know what I mean? So he does have some things that he can do, but I think he overall, by the sample size, he just got to get more time in. Like I said, you can't do nothing in 26 games. And in his rookie year, he only averaged how many minutes a game, so he wasn't getting a lot of minutes per se. 26, 28, 20, 23. So he got a lot to show and prove this year. He got to come to the table this year and let the Knicks know that what they seen and what he could do. It's just only the beginning of it. You know what I mean? Hopefully he can get in here and make up for it this year to get it popping. Now you're right, otherwise he definitely got to prove that he's a starter. He got to prove that he can really get this thing popping because he has the talent. That's one thing you can't deny that he does. He does have the talent. He got to put it all together, man. So he got to come into training camp in the year where he's trying to get the bag next year and get hungry. Go in there, and just show and prove. Like, listen, I don't care what nobody says. I'm going to come in here and get it. And I think if he can come in here and show and prove and show that he's really capable of doing what he's doing, then we'll see. So let's hope that that's what pans out for him. Because I like his game, and I think he brings a lot to the table for the Knicks. Let's see if he come in here with the focus and the mindset that I want to be part of this thing, and I want to make sure that I'm part of it. And I want to go in here and kick some butt in the off season and train the camp and make Tibbs do like Grimes did. Grimes made Tibbs have to kind of like force him to play him, even though it happened because of injury. But once he got in there, it wasn't no denying that Tibbs wasn't going to take him out. You know what I mean? Except for due to the injury that Grimes had. So Cam Reddish got to have the same mindset, but I think he's definitely going to be capable of doing it though.
The biggest thing I want to see this year, and I understand where you're coming from too. He should, Allah-wise, salute to you, peace. He really does have to come into this year and really put emphasis on his game. He has to turn everything that has been before into a past and do everything that he does now to build for his future. This guy, I believe he has, like I said, he has a high upside. And with the thing that he possesses, not too many people have. He can drive to the left, he could drive to the right, he could lay it up with the left hand, he could lay it up with the right hand, he could shoot a short jump shot, he can shoot a 3-pointer, but he just hasn't been on the court enough to really. He had a couple of games that were pretty hot. You see some of the stuff that he can leave if he gets time and the effort into his game. So, and the one thing that I really want to see with Reddish, why I want him to start, is because I want to see him and RJ on the court together. The thing that I want to see is RJ to move back to the 2 position and Reddish play that 3 position. You know what I mean? That makes us bigger in the front court with Reddish and RJ there, and IQ with the long arms playing very good defense. I think that's a formidable front three on the court, and I believe Reddish and RJ are going to have a connection that they will re-inherit from the Duke days, and I think these two guys are going to really put some peanut butter and jelly together, man. I think they're gonna put some peanut butter and jelly and put the milk on the side and make it pop off this year.
Right. Hey, LIY put a great point up there, and that's why I left it up there. Just think about the Knicks stay the same, guys, real quick. If the Knicks stay the same, they didn't do too much.
Divine, you muted?
Am I? No, I think that's Duke. Can you hear me?
I don't hear you.
You don't hear me? Wow. Excuse me. Hey, let me know. Can the chat? Can you hear me? Cause I think I'm good. Hear me?
Oh, you on the TV? Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me.
Yeah, real quick, but let's think about what Allah said. Can you imagine if you kept Randall, just hypothetically, Randall, Mitch, and RJ, replace Fournier and Burks with IQ and Cam Reddish? I think that team gets better defensively. I think the team gets better from a standpoint of athleticism, and I think they're young and athletic and they got energy. So I really think thank you, God. Appreciate it, Will. So I do think I'm with a lot of wise on that. Great minds think alike, because I think if you had to put IQ and my man in there and a Cam Reddish with RJ Barrett, and if you keep Randall, fine, Randall and Mitchell Robinson, if you could bring Mitchell Robinson back, or if you wind up moving on from Randall and this Obi Toppin, I still love the IQ, RJ Barrett, Cam Reddish, Obi Toppin, and Mitchell Robinson. Granted, we know they're not going to be a 50-win team or nothing like that, but I do think they talented enough with the right bench behind them to scrap in to get into the play-in or the playoffs, depending on how other teams do. So I really think that young energy that we have down here and that young talent, man, I'm just hoping these guys is already in the gym working right now, already putting in the work, already on the off season trying to get better, and just working on their game and going to the off season training camp, making kids have to play me. So that would be interesting to see with them, and I'm really looking forward to these guys. I think they are good to go to me. Like I said, we haven't had this much young talent in New York in a long time. We always trying to buy free agents or trade for free agents. We finally drafted about 7 guys, man, that literally can make an impact on the Knicks organization moving forward. I really believe these guys are here to stay. And if they don't mess this thing up, if Leon Rose stay true to his word when he said in the review in the press conference that he want to build this thing through these young guys and go that route, if we keep that mindset, then I think we good to go, Shop House. That's just all that matter about how real they is with it and how true they are to their word. Because sometimes, but even if you had to trade for a player of a caliber that's better than them, as long as it don't mess with the growth development of these guys, I'm good with it, for real. But I like what we got going on there. Young White, I love Cam Reddish. I love these guys, and I hope these guys come into training camp and just kick butt, man, and let these cats know that we here. Like, you look at Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart, go that route, man. The Boston Celtics kept these guys. They built them up through the organization. They let them grow with them, and now look at them. These cats fighting to get down into the finals almost. We got to have that same mindset. Like, take a group of these guys who you think they are and grow with the organization. And next thing you know, you put a couple of pieces like the Al Horford, like they did the Al Horfords and guys like that, and they put them around these guys, and now look at them. You know what I mean? So I'm really excited to see what these cats do with Cam Reddish and them moving forward, for sure.
Yeah, salute again, a lot wise. Yeah, I believe Reddish is sitting there saying to myself, man, come on, man, I am better than Fournier. Come on, man, I am better than Burks. I mean, I'm way more competitive than these guys. I'm longer, I'm linkier. I could do a little bit more things than they could do. I could turn it up. I could make it a microwave in the fourth quarter if I got to. Give me the ball. I hope his mindset is more like that this year, man, because I really want Cam Reddish to come out here and get on the court this year and show that he is like a surprising person that can turn around this team this year, because everybody sees him and they say he's not doing this. His defense ain't that great. He's not on the floor enough to get the time that he deserves and stuff like that. He's not making his shots when he comes out. Stuff like this. being said about him. And I really think, man, if he gets out on the floor with RJ on that starting lineup, man, it's gonna change. It's gonna turn around the whole Knicks perspective of how Cam Reddish can really take this team to another level this year, man. You know, he's the type of guy that I watched one of the games when I think it was 32 points that he scored in Atlanta. If he starts to take over the game like that, man, I mean, this guy was shooting the ball from the left, shooting the ball from the right, short jumpers, 3-pointers, driving the hole, threw it 2 times on people, man. I'm just imagining him, RJ, and Obi running up the court together, and who you gonna stop? RJ coming down the middle. You got Reddish on the left. You got Obi on the stop. Who are you gonna stop? It's 2 men in the backcourt. Who you going to? Who you gonna switch to? Come on, man. Let's be real. I hope he stays healthy. That's the biggest thing for him, man. If he stays healthy, that's his position to take this year, and probably make a couple of $1 million at the end of next year to you know, keep him here for a couple more years to come.
Yeah, real talk. A la wide, you're killing it tonight, brother. I see that right there, that PG-13 Paul George type dude. Real talk, man. That's what you're looking at with him. He ever get that defensive prowess like that, he could. Cam Reddish is a talent, man. I remember, like I said, I was watching him at Duke, because, you know, I'm a Carolina Tar Heel dude. So when I'm watching them go up against Duke most of the time, I'm like, you know what? I know RJ and Zion's that dude, but they sleeping on Cam Reddish, though. I mean, that boy.
Yeah, man. That's what yeah.
Better shooter than both of them coming out of college. He got that type of game to him, man.
He got dog in him, man.
Man, that real talk, man. That boy is special, man. So I'm hoping that he put it all together and really be a part of this thing, man. So I'm excited about him coming to the training. I just think that he could be special for the Knicks, man. So let's hope that everything, you know, go according to plan, and the Knicks come in there with these young guys, and let's keep it all together, man. Don't break this thing up no matter what you do, you know. And I think no matter what you do not break up these young cores that we drafted, man. I'm talking about the Sims, the McBride, all these guys, man. Cam, you know, he didn't draft him, but he here. RJ here. You can bring Mitch back here, be here. You know what I mean? You got all these guys that's really talented, man. Obi Toppin, Emmanuel Quickly. I mean, then you never know who we drafted in the draft this year. And you know, and I know they're talking about my man Chacon out of Baylor. If they move Julius Randle and Chikonga back up Obi, he's 18 years old, but he's athletic. He can get it too. I like the way he played in the national championship game. So I really think it's going to be interesting for the New York Knicks overall, man. Let's see which way they're going to go with this thing. But I definitely know that if Cam Reddish I think he's going to pop, man. Because I think right before he got hurt, he was about to pop. I was like, he's about to get in his, you know, Tom Thibodeau, you know. He said, okay, now that, you know, you can't just come to a team and throw him in there because it's not fair to a lot of other people. But once Tom Thibodeau started unleashing him a little bit more game by game, letting him get minutes, get more minutes, you've seen what he was capable of doing. So I'm really excited about this young man, man. I'm hoping that he come back and just ready to pop, man. Go get your bag, man. Come in here and get it popping. And I think he got something going on, man. Like, we'll see how it goes and everything like that. But then later on, we're gonna get into one of my other favorite Knicks, Quentin Grimes. I'm telling you now, that's the one to be sleeping on. I don't know if people sleeping on him, but that boy gonna be nice. His game is nice, man. His defense, his jump shot, and people think he only 3-and-D. But when I showed up highlights of him, you're gonna see that he's much more than a 3-and-D player, Quentin Grimes. So we popping, we get into Quentin Grimes popping in a few minutes. We'll see that he's another dude that makes Evan Fournier and Alex Burks expendable. This cat on a $2 million deal and all that. But real quick, let's get into Cam Reddish's salary, man, his contract, and see where he at, and see what, you know, what he brings to the table financial wise. How we gonna deal with his contract and things of that nature. We get into that, man. We talk about his numbers, man, his money, see what he's doing. And for as we see right now, Cam Reddish right now is excuse me, let me get the chat out there for you can see his numbers. Apologize for that. You guys bear with me, and I'll get that out of there. But Cam Reddish numbers right now, guys, you know, he's $4 million a year. He's going into 2022-23 season coming up. He have a $5 million, almost $6 million deal on the table for him. $5,954,454. So that's his 2000. Then the next year he got a qualifying offer, but he's in the contract year right here. So the Knicks obviously they picking that up. then 2020, 23, 24 is a qualifying offer with a cap hold of $17 million. But if he popped this year, you know, you give him a qualifying offer, you know what I mean? Whatever, you know what I mean? You make it happen. But to me, his talent is worth $6 million. You know what I mean? It's definitely, so Cam Reddish got to take that number right there. Hopefully he can make it this number right here or whatever. But it's not a bad number for $6 million and what he could do, Shaw Powell. I really think that the Knicks got to take that, man, and make it happen for him, man, because I do think that the young man is worth that money, and I do think he can make a big difference in New York for sure.
He definitely, the whole team, man. If we really look at it on a larger scale, man, we have a couple of guys, about 5 guys that we can kind of play around with for another 2 years or so. You know, the Grimes, the Sims, the Deuces, kind of like Obi. I think he has something coming up pretty soon too, next year, something like that, year after. But him, IQ's on be going on his 4th year by the end of next year. You know, we got those 5 guys right there could be something real special for us right now, including Reddish, and I think $6 million for Reddish, especially. You know, they might. I mean, give it to him. I mean, what you know, $6 million. I think oh my God, KNICKS offer was $8.8 million. So we saved $2 million on that contract if we sign him now.
Yep. Right.
So we got to keep him somehow, some way, man. Because if he, I really believe if he can stay healthy this year, man, he could be one of the premier players in the league. Who knows what he could do, man, if he gets more time on the court, man. I think him and RJ. I think him and RJ on the court makes RJ a better player as well.
Yeah, real talk. Salute to my man, once a Nick. My brother, once a Nick, always a Nick in the building. My man, salute to the chat. Y'all cats got to pop it, man. Y'all keep that fire. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. I know we up and fire up in here. The show is popping. The chat is popping. We all popping up in here, man. Your cats keep bringing that content, man. Y'all killing it right now. You right. You're 100% right. A lot wise.
Facts.
They was going to trade him at the trading deadline with Alex Burks to the Lakers for THT and all them guys. So, and Gordon Dragic was in that deal as well. I'm glad they didn't. So that tells me that the Knicks was we're not going to move on from this guy yet. So I'm glad they didn't. But that's a great point, a lot why they can be moved. But I'm hoping they don't, man. I hope they keep this guy in the fold and let him grow with this team, man. And just throw these cats out there, man, and let them go do it. Look at the Memphis Grizzlies. If you want to talk about the New York Knicks young core, look no further than the Memphis Grizzlies. All them young cats getting it popping down there. You know what I mean? Because they let them play together. They let them grow together. Jaren Jackson Jr., all of them guys, Dylan Brooks. I mean, they let them cats grow together, man, coming out their rookie years and John Moran them, and look at them now. And that's what we need to finally get to that stage in the Knicks, as the Knicks organization, to do what they did. Let these young guys pop. Let quickly pop. Let Cameron, RJ, and all these guys, Obi Toppin, let them grow together, man. That's what it's about. And I think that you wouldn't be mad at the results at the end of the day, you know. And it takes time, you know. What I mean, you know, Rome wasn't built in one day, man. You know what I mean? But you got to give them a chance to get out there and perform and let them play and show them. Look what Obi Toppin did when you gave him a chance just to play, because Randall went down 42 points in the game. Man, they're quickly two triple doubles, one of them 30-something points. Regardless of what competition they did it against, they had an opportunity to play more minutes. And here's a good thing I love about it. And even though he's not part of the conversation we're talking about, in 18 games playing over 30 minutes, Emmanuel quickly was killing it. And playing 30 minutes a game in 18 games, Emmanuel quickly was averaging something like 15 to 17, 7 assists, something of that nature, 6 rebounds, because he got more time to be on the floor. So I'm hoping that, you know, that's what they do with Cam Reddish and all these guys, man. Let them get out there, let them, you know. And listen, we know right now the way the East is built. You know, we're not going to be catching the Giannis's of the world right now. He's one of the great players in the world. You still got the KDs out there. You still got the Joel Embiid's out there. So until we get the guy to bring in the beat to that caliber, look what Tyrese Maxey doing. You know, look at Quickly boy in Philadelphia. He getting the time, he producing. And look what Quickly did when he got the time. He produced. You know what I mean? So it's all about giving these cats the minutes to go out there and make things happen. And I think they will, Shaw Powell. I'm excited, bro. I'm real giddy about going into the 2022-2023 season, because I do think we got a good youth, a bunch of youth there to mix with other people to make this team pretty good for sure.
Yeah. Keith Turner, if you want a little bit of optimism, I'll give you a little bit, man. If we can this year move off of Burks, if we can move on from Noel, if we can move on from Kimba, if we can move on from possibly Evan Fournier, I think if we could make Taj a legitimate 15th man on the roster, I think you see a different team this year. And with a different team out there, I think Tibbs can take these young guys and make them want to eat. He can make them hungry, get them out there and make them hungry. Tibbs is a good coach. And if you want to play defense, Tibbs is going to love you. If you can play defense and hit a jump shot, he is going to be in love with you. And if you can score, penetrate, play great defense, and score from the three or the short range, your minutes on the roster is going to be solidified. I think Tibbs likes to run around a 9-man rotation, and we have about 9 players right now that we can really cultivate right now and really motivate and a lot of people dig into this because of that we had this year. And yes, he does sometimes make some bad substitutions. I'm not even gonna lie. I sat sometimes and sitting like, why you do that? Why you leaving this guy in too long? Sometimes he leaves the player in too long, or he takes the player out that's smoking hot. He's at fault. And I'm not knocking for at being at fault. But remember the year before that, he also was the coach of the year. So I believe if you change the parameters of the players that he have on the court, I think you'll get a different way of how Tibbs coaches the team. If you take Burks away, he can't play Burks. He likes to play Burks about 39, 44 minutes a game. So if he take away Burks, you ain't got to worry about Burks. I didn't throw his name in there because I really think that he needs to be on the team. D, because I think he needs to help. And do put their games together. You know what I mean? He may not get many minutes, but he may be that player that can sit on the bench. I mean, the reason why I want to move Rose and I really don't, but his contract is $14 million. We need that money. That $14 million can go to Mitch right now. If we could move Rose to back to Chicago and take their they got 2 or 3 second round picks for D Rose, and they take his contract. They got some money over there. They got about 20, I think it was 28 million or 24 million somewhere. They got some money that they could absorb his contract into their cap. So, if we could get off of D Rose, I'd be happy with that. But we need to keep this young core together, man. And I'll say it again, man. We have to see Reddish. We have to see Reddish and RJ on the court together, man. I think with Reddish and RJ on the court together, the whole team changes everything. And we take away some of these veterans, let these young boys play together. I think Tibbs can take these guys and mold them and show them how to play this. He has I forgot the name of everybody moves and just make a play, as you moving the ball around when you see someone that can penetrate, shoot the shot if you're open or whatever the case may be. So I think Tibbs could take this team to another level. Young guys that could shoot, athletic, want to run up and down on the court. I think Tibbs would be happy with this team at the end of the year.
Yeah, I think so too, man. You look at what he did with Derrick Rose and all them young guys when they first got to Chicago. I mean, they was young then, and he won Coach of the Year with them guys. But Tibbs just got to find a way not to, just to realize that don't get too loyal to guys. Because I understand why he did do it, because he's trying to fight. You think the guys can get into the playoff, blah blah blah, whatever. But I think this is a different time, a different space. He just got to adapt. He got to adapt to what these cats can do. And I think he did realize that. I gotta honestly say, sometimes injury could be a blessing in disguise. I think the Randall injury was a blessing in disguise for the Knicks at the end of the year because he got to see what it could be like without Randall on the court with Obi Toppin and Emmanuel Quickly and guys like that. So it was kind of a, but I just wish that he might have took the Fournier thing and that, okay, you know what, Fournier, it's the end of the season. We're not going nowhere. You sit down. Let this other guy get in here. Let him get his minutes. But unfortunately, Quentin Grimes and Cam Reddish went down and it kind of, okay, threw a monkey wrench in the game. But, you know, we live to talk about that another time. But listen, let's get into this next young man. And I'm excited about this next young man that I'm talking about, man. And that's Quentin Grimes. I think Quentin Grimes is going to be that dude in New York. I think he just got that. He got that game, man. He got that it in him too. I love the way he played defense. I love his shot. I think people think he's more than 3 and D to me. You know what I mean? I think the young man could really, really get down, man. So I'm going to throw up the Quentin Grimes highlights. My man, South Guna, Australia.
South Guna.
Salute, brother. Salute. I'm glad you're doing well. Glad you're up here. We appreciate you, my brother. Good to see that you're still out there doing your thing, man. And anytime I see somebody I haven't seen in a while and I see him, makes me feel good because I know that he's still out there doing all right. So salute South Guna, real talk. But yeah, man, this cat's Quentin Grimes to me, it's on the come up. I think his rookie year, if he wouldn't have got injured, like I said, at the end of the season with that knee situation, I think he would have had he would have been all right. But I like this guy. I like what he brings to the table. Let's jump into this Quentin Grimes thing right quick. I'm going to drop his highlights in here. You check out some of his skill set, what he can do. Then once the highlight over, we come back and talk about Quentin Grimes. But this is another young man that I'm excited about for the New York Knicks. I think he's going to be one of the sleepers up in this joint, man. So let me drop the Quentin Grimes highlights. We'll talk about it on the other side, man. Real talk. But this is my man right here, Grimes. Let's get it. Yeah, I'm trying to tell y'all.
I forgot about that one.
I'm trying to tell y'all.
Oh, man.
Shit up in here, yo, for real. Woo. I like that young man game. He can get it inside. He more than 3 and D, and the defense is there. This kid going to be nice for the Knicks. I'm telling you. That's why I keep saying Evan Fournier is not even needed. Real talk. He's expendable, bro. This young man got game. He got game. He can shoot it with the best. His defense is top notch, and he got the hezzy. I mean, the kid is gifted. I mean, I really is. We just seen a small sample size because his rookie year, and because of the veterans that we got. I think this cat gonna be a breakout for the Knicks next year. I'm trying to tell you, we got to keep this cat on the fold, man, up in the forefront of the Knicks stuff. Salute to King Grippy, man. Salute to the chat, man. Shy Powers. That boy gonna be nice. I just think that he built a certain way coming out of Kansas, had to go through what he go through to move to Houston to play with Kevin Sampson down there in Houston. You know how Kevin Sampson get down as a coach. So he been around the Tom Thibodeau type of coaches, Bill Self, Kevin Sampson down there, man, and the cat can get it. He got game. He can shoot the ball. His defense is top notch. And I'm telling you right now, watch that boy going into the summer and training camp. And they believe it or not, he gonna play in summer league again this year. Him and Deuce McBride, Jericho Sims, them cats probably be in summer league anyway. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping that knee hold up and he heal 100%. I think he's special, man. I love what he got, Shot Powell. He's the real deal for me.
I'm just gonna say this about Grimes, man. Grimes, What he's 6'5",
about 6'5", 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", basically.
6'4", 6'5". He does have a little. He needs to freshen up his handle a little bit. But I say that because of the limited time that I see. Because with some of these things that we just seen, he has handle. You know, he can control the ball. You know, he can shoot. I like to see him, you know, get under that 3-point line. See if he can make some of those jump shots under the 3-point line. See if he could get up to 40, 46, 47% from shooting the 2-pointers. You know, this guy got a high upside too, I believe, man.
Yeah.
I don't believe he's just a 3-and-D type of guy. And even if he does turn out to be somewhat of that 3-and-D type of player, you know, because what he does have defense. And if he can shoot the 3-pointers, if he comes out and be a 3-and-D player and has 3 turnovers, has 3 steals a game, and he can rebound also. So if he can get 3 steals a game, 5, 6 rebounds, and hit 15 points a night coming off the bench, I'm happy with that. That's premier right there. You know what I mean? For next year, that's premier. And I think he's not doing anything else but playing basketball. And don't take this the wrong way, Grimes, and probably put a little proactive on his face, get some of the pimples down a little bit. My man's gonna come back next year and be fire next year, man.
He gonna do just like the pimples, gonna get it popping.
Yeah, he gonna get it popping. You know what I mean? I love you, Grimes. I'm saying that because you're a young boy. I went through it too when I was younger too. So don't take it wrong.
You know what though? Look at him and McBride coming off the bench for the Knicks. See, that's what's so impressive to me. He don't even got to start for the Knicks. If he come off the bench for the Knicks, 6-man, I mean, I think Will put up a great point there. He's that Desmond Bain type of cat, man. You know what I mean? Real talk. And that's what I say. They emulate the Memphis Grizzlies with that talent, man. We just got to make, man, I'm excited. I wish I could be a flying ball, like I said, in training camp this year to see how them cats gonna be in that gym getting down. Can you imagine how they gonna be going at each other? You know, and I think Deuce McBride, him and Jericho Sims gonna be the next player review on Sunday. We're gonna get into the Deuce McBride and Jericho Sims player review for the season on Sunday. But right now, watch out for Quentin Grimes. I'm telling y'all, he gonna be my dark horse. He gonna be my dark horse. The cat got a shot, and he could defend with the best of them. You know what I mean? And that's what we was lacking in that 2-guard spot this year for the Knicks, was that supreme defense. This cat can lock down a lot of jokers, man. You know what I mean? And I'm hoping he's like, to me, like you look at Gary Payton II out there and Golden State with that defense, and Quentin Grimes shoot the ball way better than he do, but Gary Payton defense is on another level. But I do think Quentin Grimes can get there. I'm loving this cat, man. I really do, man. His jump shot gonna be, and I think he'll win a 3-point shooting contest in the NBA. I seen this cat knock down 7 in the game against Giannis and them. I seen him do it a couple of times. He don't have no fear in him, and he got that it in him. And anytime you see somebody who got that it in him, and he willing to get up against the best people out there and get it popping. And I'm excited, man. And I know every Knicks fan should be excited for him. So we got a good young talent, a good core talent down there. Let's hope we all put it all together, keep these cats in the fold, and just keep growing, man. Take a year, man, a year or two from now, man. The Knicks, them young boys, will be dangerous, man, because they've been played together, like I said, like Memphis, 3 or 4 years together, 2 or 3 years together. They got acclimated, know each other's tendencies, know how, man, these boys are Cam Reddish, Quentin Grimes, RJ Barrett, Obi Toppin, Emmanuel Quickly, Deuce McBride. I mean, man, Jericho Sims, it goes on and on. Depending on who you draft this year, you still got Ferry and Hunt. You never know what he might do. You know what I mean? Right. So even just stay the course. I mean, I think the Knicks fan base will take a year or two developing to get these guys ready than just going out there spending $100 million on somebody who might not get us there. You know what I mean? Especially with the way the East is probably constructed right now. But whatever they do, I think this young man gonna be in the fold. He only on a good contract, shot power, so he on his rookie deal. And I think him being on his rookie deal is not a bad thing, man. Overall, so let me look at his stats right quick for the year. Only a small sample size, ladies and gentlemen, because he did deal with injuries this year, so we only had a small sample size of what he did. But I think the young man is special, though, to me, real talk. He only averaged 6 points a game, but look at his minutes. He only averaged 17 minutes per game. But look at that 3-point shot, though. 38% from deep. You know what I mean? You got to get the 2-point percentage up, obviously, but his numbers is nice. You know what I mean? The kid gonna be nice, bro. I mean, he's shooting 38% from deep. That's almost 40%. You know what I mean? And just like the rest of the Knicks team, everybody shot around 40% from the field, which the whole team need to get that up. But like a small sample size, 17 minutes. But I think he would have got more. I think if he wouldn't have had the knee injury at the end of the season, I think he probably would have got the numbers up a little bit more because he was just starting to round into his own, starting to come into his own. But obviously with the knee situation, when he bumped knees with somebody, kind of messed him up a little bit. But I think though he's gonna be good to go, man. That defense is special. He almost averaged a steal a game. Just give him more time. I think he's gonna be good to go, man. So I'm excited about the young man, Shaw Powell. Real talk.
I just want to see him out there. I believe he'll be our shooting guard coming off the bench. I think he'll be our shooting guard coming off the bench. I think we run right now. I don't see anybody. Me personally, I don't think Brunson is coming, or if he does leave the Mavericks, I think he's going to be asking $26 million. I don't know if I want him for that amount of money. And I mean, I don't think Donovan Mitchell was leaving. You're not going to see Zion. There's a couple other guys that was mentioned, Tybo, I think something like that, a name like that. And it's a couple of guys out there, the Dennis Schroeder's, and it's a couple of names out there that could sound promising. But if we're going to go with an older guard, like 27, 28, 29, 30, something like that, you might as well keep D Rose. You might as well keep. The main focus for me is I want to see IQ start and Deuce follow him. I want to see RJ start, and I want to see Grimes follow him. I want to see Reddish start, and I always miss his name. Ferry Hunt. I want to see Hunt follow him. If we keep Randall, I want to see Obi to follow him, and Mitch to Sims. That's the 10-man rotation that I think we should see next year. And with Grimes is not like you said. I think in a couple of years you'll see him. Maybe next year you might see him next year in the All-Star. Though I wouldn't be surprised.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, real talk. A Ghost. For the point guard situation and the free agency, I know right now probably Ghost right now. Jalen Brunson is the major talk. Obviously, the Donovan Mitchell thing with a trade thing. I mean, guys who I prefer like Devontae Murray, and all these guys. I don't know, but I know what I'm happy with is the Knicks coming to the season with Quentin Grimes at the point, with Derrick Rose, and at the 2 guard you got Emmanuel Quickly and Quentin Grimes. At the 3 spot you got RJ and Cam Reddish. At the 4 you got Obi Toppin and whoever. I'm good with that. You know what I mean? But for the free agency, it's interesting. I don't know what they're gonna do with that thing, man. I don't know if they're gonna. I'm hoping Alex Burks if he's on the team. I hope he goes back to his natural position, what he do, and get the keys to somebody else. Salute to the Queen, Chris, salute. I hope you all well, sister. Thanks for coming in. Real talk, Queen. You already know this, Queen Chris Woodward in the building with us. Salute, Queen. Real talk. But I'm hoping that I'm just so geeked on these young guys, man. I just love the way they play, the way they play, like quality jumper said at the end of the season, man. In that Miami game, it sold me on the youth. Real talk, brother. That was real truth there. They sold me as well, man. Cause I just think that they got that, man. They got a good bunch of 7 to 8 guys who could be a part of this thing for the next 2 or 3 years, and don't strap yourself financial wise, and let them grow with this thing and get it popping. So I'm really looking forward to that. But I like Quentin Grimes. I'm liking what he do. I like his game, and like I said, his contract is not crazy. For moving forward, his contract is pretty much is not a big deal to me. I think for a rookie contract, he's not on a bad deal. 25th pick. His contract right now. Look at his contract, guys. Next year, he coming to the season making only $2 million. $2 million in 2020, 22, 23, 2023, 24, $2 million. And then 2024, 25, $4 million. You know what I mean? And that's a club option. Both of them. You better pick them options up for that boy, man. That boy gonna be lethal shoot up in New York. His defense is impeccable. He's on another level there. So for that contract, That's why I said Evan Fournier is expendable. $2 million can do what he do, and better defensively. You got to let these young guys get in there and get it popping. I'm quite sure he's gonna come back into in this season knowing that he got something to show and prove. He's gonna want to show and prove. And for $2 million, you cannot dispute what he can do with a basketball. The kid is gifted. So I'm hoping that's what it do, man. And I feel like the Knicks got a good talent there, Shot Powell. I just don't see them moving on for him. I think he's gonna be a Knick for a minute. I really do.
I'm just hoping, because if we want to sign the Mitchell Robinsons now, if we want to sign the RJs now, these are the guys that we have to really roll with right now. You know what I mean? You know, they're why this team to build for the next couple of years, because one, I think with them playing together, they'll be a better team. But if I was the front office, I'm just going to say, as a Knicks fan, looking from the outside in, these contracts that these guys have for the next 2-3 years are I don't want to, in the NBA, they're pennies on a dollar. You know, right. They're small contracts. And the biggest thing for them to grow together builds their stock up. So he may be getting $3 million, $2-3 million next year. But if he plays like he's a $15 million player, if we do think of moving him on in a year or so, if he's a $2 million player, but he's playing like he's $15 million, now we don't have to give up so much to get that quote unquote star big fish player. If we're looking to move to get someone in 2025, that's when I see some big star players that could come out that are still semi young. And if we're building to into the play-in, the playoffs in the next couple of years, and we might need a extra kick from somebody to go after a big fish, now instead of giving up Obi, Grimes, Reddish, 3 first-round picks, now we could give I hate to say any one of these names right now, but we could give Grimes and a first-round pick, and Grimes and 2 first-round picks, because now Grimes' stock is worth 15-17 million. You know, he's worth maybe $20 million. So if we do a sign and trade, and he's worth that money now. So, you know, I just think these guys need to stay together, keep this core together, 2 or 3 more years, get to 2025 and play to win. You know, next year, strive to get to the play-in and start from there. You make the play-in playoffs, you make the first round next year and get knocked off, fine. We made progress. Next year after that, we try. I know it's a slow, for us being a Knicks fan, we want everything right now, and I know we want to win right now. But there's no one out there. If we bring a Donovan Mitchell right now to this team, you think we're going to win next year? Are we going to go to the playoffs next year because we got Donovan Mitchell? You know, I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm good with building these guys for the next 2-3 years. 25 is the year that I see for us to make that major move and that major push towards the playoffs. That's what I see.
Yeah, Chris, I don't know if he want to trade Quentin Grimes. I think he was saying if the Knicks would just do it. You know what I mean?
They keep going off.
But I tell you, man, you know, we in a good spot. Here's another thing. You know, like a lot of wise said, we got a lot of aspiring contracts. So I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen to me. If the Knicks don't do anything this summer, I guarantee you that trading deadline gonna be crazy for the Knicks. That's what we also can bank on as well. If they don't do nothing this summer, the trading deadline for the New York Knicks in 2022-23 season or 2023, when they got all them aspiring deals out there, they can wind up getting back picks. And depending on how desperate the other team is, they can get a first, couple of seconds. They can free up. They still can keep their franchise moving forward because the Allen Burkses of the world, somebody give you something for him. All these guys, they are tradable. They're tradable assets, and they can help contenders. So I do believe if they don't do anything this summer, I guarantee you by that trading deadline, with these, and the Knicks not what we think they're gonna be, they're gonna get back some picks and aspiring contracts as well for some of these players, or they might package together for somebody who might make a difference on our team moving forward. So I do believe that they're in a good spot. You know what I mean? Like I said, their contracts are good. The infrastructure is good. They did a good job with that, man. Granted, the season didn't pan out the way it happened with the injuries with Derrick Rose, Nerlens Noel, and I still think if they would have been here, the Kemba Walker thing didn't work out. But the good thing about it, they're not long-term contracts. And like a lot of why I said, they movable next year. They come off the books. You know what I mean? So at the trading deadline, I guarantee you any contender will take Alex Burks the way he played. They could use that scoring that he got. You know what I mean? Or Nerlens Noel defense. And Nerlens Noel played a major role for the Knicks last year, just that he got injured this year and he wasn't really part of this thing. You know what I mean? But we cannot underestimate what he did for us last year when Mitchell Robinson went down, missing 41 games. Alex Burks Noel came in there and played some decent game for us last year. So I think he'd be all right. I think he'd get healthy this year, and he'd be a movable contract. We know Kemba Walker not going to be here. We already know that writing is on the wall. We already know that. So it's really about Nerlens Noel, Alex Burks, and Derrick Rose, and then like you said, Kemba Walker. Randall and Fournier. We'll see. We don't know what the Knicks going to do with that, but I think we're in a good spot moving forward with these cats, and we got to get these young guys ready to roll. Because even if you bring this whole team back next year, you just got to make some wholesale changes from the starting lineup. I think Evan Fournier should come off the bench, and you move one of them young guys in there for their defense, their quality, their game, and you let him come off the bench. He could probably kill a lot of these second team units in the NBA. Evan Fournier on the second unit, he probably kill a lot of them guys on the bench. You know what I mean? So I do think that's a good possibility. And my only concern is the Obi Toppin thing and Julius Randle. That's my one concern that I have is like what happens with Obi Toppin. He might want to have a breakout year, but if Randle's still here, how does his minutes kick in? Especially with Fournier. But I already told y'all what I want to do. Let Obi Toppin play the 3. That's all. Let him start at the 3. If you keep Randle still, let him start at the 3. Whatever. Move RJ back to the 2 and do what you do. But it's gonna be interesting, man. It really is. It's gonna be really interesting, man. Salute to E. Gibson. Salute to the chat, Chris. Everybody, y'all on fire, man. Y'all run them up with the thumbs up. Make sure y'all like, subscribe. Knicks Real Talk. Me and Shaw Powell's in the building. My man KJ and Vincent being here later, man. The coach doing this thing with the young youth team and everything, man. But it's all good, man. We enjoy this thing. Quentin Grimes and Cam Reddish player review tonight. And it's interesting, man. I'm really excited about these young men. I'm really excited about our future. I'm really excited about the infrastructure that New York has. I just hope that we can put it all together and let these young guys go together. Shop House. I think we do got to win a formula there for sure.
It makes a big how the front office make their moves this off season. I hate to say off season because it's never off season because they on the clock right now. They're definitely on the clock right now. So let's just say this offer season to make these moves because these guys have to make some moves this year. And once everything starts coming into play, once we start seeing the focus that they want to formulate this team with right now, we'll have a better projection of what we're going to do and how we're going to move forward. I hope we keep exactly what we have. Let IQ start. Let him be that starting point guard. Go ahead and let him start because if he starts, I think Deuce comes off the bench. I just want to keep this core together and share some of these veterans so we can see some of these guys have more minutes and see where they're at. This way we could judge them a little quicker. And also, no, Chris, I do not want to trade Grimes. I said that just because we were talking about him, but if we're going to look big fish hunting, we may have to lose one of our guys that we really like a Obi, Grimes, or IQ. They're high commodities and they're low pay stats. That's why I want to build their stock up so they're $2 million on paper, but they're worth $15 million, on your team.
Yeah, real talk. It's gonna be interesting, man, because and Chris, the reason why I brought up the Obi Toppin at the 3 instead of Randle, here's the reason why I did that. I think Obi Toppin is a more faster player than Randle. He probably can keep up with the 3 more than Randle, because Randle don't even like to get up the floor like that unless he's dribbling the ball. But I think Obi Toppin, with that speed that he has, his athleticism, I think he gets up the floor. I think he can handle a 3 better than Randle, because I think Randle, the only time you see him really moving up in that floor real fast unless he got the ball in his hand. But if you got a young wing like and a small forward leaking out to go on a fast break, I think Obi Toppin got the speed to keep up with these guys. And granted, he got to work on his footwork, obviously, which I think he will. But I do think that because of his speed and his athleticism, that's why I like him at the 3, because Randle just slow to me, at least on the defense end. You know what I mean? And I think Obi Toppin comes him quickly with that up and down the court thing might make it work when it comes to keeping up with faster guys. But I think you can't go wrong with either or. Even if you put Randall at the 3, which I'm fine with, or either or. But I do think you got to find a way to get Obi Toppin at least 25 to 25 minutes this year. I mean, you can't no way in the world that man coming off the bench for no to play
14 minutes.
That ain't happening. Not after what he did in the end of the season. You know what I mean? So I think they're gonna have to find a way to make that thing work. But the Dallas thing is interesting with Julius Randle. I like Randle's game. Only reason I prefer to move on from Randle is not about his game. It's about that contract. I think you let him go home or go to where he want to go to help a contender. I think you send Evan Fournier to a contender. Like, can you imagine Evan Fournier with the Lakers? With LeBron James, and he's spotting up in the corner with that 3-point shot. Anthony Davis, and even Russell Westbrook, being that Russell Westbrook is not a shooter. You put Evan Fournier with Russell Westbrook, it'll help them out better because now they got a shooter. You know what I mean? So I think it's being interesting what the Knicks going to do this year. I don't know. I understand that, man. I agree, man. But you know what? Let's hope that Will, I agree with you 100%. But let's see if he can get better. I mean, that's maybe something that he's gonna need to work on in the off season because they all do. But I think it's gonna be tough. But like I said, like I said, I keep going back to the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cleveland Cavaliers started a 6'11" small forward this year, and they did well with it. Jared Allen 7 foot, Evan Mobley 7 foot, Laurie Market is 6'11", and when they all was in there, they was winning. You know what I mean? You just got to put the right guys around them, dude, man. But I think that if they could do that, because here's the thing you got to look at too. Yeah, he might get cooked on one end, but also he's gonna be to a advantage on his end too. Now, can a lot of threes in the league keep up with Obi Toppin? Now, Obi Toppin could take them small threes down in the post and abuse them. So it's kind of like a give and take. He might lose a little bit on the defense, but he also might gain a lot on the offense because now Obi Toppin might get outmuscle a lot of these small forwards or whatever the case may be. So it's like a 50-50 thing to me, man. But I think you can't go wrong because I think the young man's gonna get better. So it's interesting to see how they do that, Shop Power. But they got a lot of young athleticism down there. I think Obi Toppin, Quentin Grimes, all these guys, and Cam Reddish and them, they got a lot of stuff going on, man. I'm excited about it, man. I really am, man. I'm looking forward to the maturation of these guys moving forward. And I think all us Knicks fans are, man. Real talk. So let's hope that we come in the training camp and be surprised and everybody get a pop-up Shop House. I think we're gonna be all right though.
Yeah, I just want to say, man, I always keep I'm always optimistic for the Knicks, man. But this year is a year that I don't really see too many players out there that may come in and can fill a spot. One, we don't have no money to really. We can sign veterans. If I'm not 100% sure of this, I think we can sign veterans and it doesn't hurt our cap. I think we have about $10 or $12 million or something like that we could play around with. So, but I just want to see these young. We got veterans right here. We don't need to get no. If we're going to keep a veteran, because the veterans that we keep, they expire next year. So at the trade deadline, they're also super duper valuable for us for the seasons to come. Like if we keep Burks by the trade deadline, he can go because he'll be even higher in demand at the trade deadline to move off of to move to a team because he's on an aspiring contract just as well as D Rose, Noel, all these guys. I don't really want to see Noel back. I think we should move him. We need some money. We need some money. We need a little bit of cap space. You know what I mean? We need some money. I was doing some research. I think we can sign Mitch over the cap. I think because we own his bird rights. So I think something about his bird rights mean that we can sign him over our cap space, but we don't have a lot of money left over in our till we get to luxury tax. I think we only have about it was about 20-something million dollars that we have before we hit luxury tax. I think it was 20-something dollars before we hit that luxury, that quote unquote luxury tax money or something like that. So, I mean, let's see what really happens, man. I just want to try to keep these young guys here, man. I hope we can move some of these contracts, keep D Rose and get off of Burks and Fournier, so we can see so Grimes could get some more minutes. So Reddish could get some more minutes. We need to see those guys getting some minutes.
Yeah, real talk. Salute to the chat, man. Salute everybody wherever you're streaming in from. Thank you for coming in, joining the show, man. We appreciate y'all. Knicks Real Talk season recap. We're going over the Quentin Grimes and Cam Reddish situation. But here's another thing. Can you imagine right now? Do you think the Philadelphia 76ers right now can't use Alex Burks? You know what I mean? These guys got a lot to bring to the table. Because you ask me, Philly can use him right now. Because Milton ain't popping, Danny Green ain't popping. Only one popping is Maxey. So it's teams like that who could use a guy like Alex Burks in the playoffs. With Gary Payton going down for the Golden State Warriors. Think about it, Alex Burks played for the Golden State Warriors and he played for the 76ers. So they could use a guy like this guy. So he's a good movable contract. Like I said, you got to be careful. The Lakers can use him. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people who can use the Alex Burks out there. Because the Dallas Mavericks, I do believe they can use a Nerlens Noel, because that's what they lack at the defense up front. So I believe that they can. Yeah, facts. You know us Met fans, we up in here, man. Real talk, man. We playing some good ball. Fred Monson, that comeback was phenomenal. Real talk, man. The Yankees and the Mets got a popper right now in New York. Let's keep it going, man. And we can't wait till the Subway Series get here. But yeah, absolutely. Will he in a contract year right now? But if he come back healthy, he's going to be another team. Like Dallas wish they had him to go up against Nerlens Noel to try to slow down DeAndre Ayton right now. Because Maxey Cleveland, them guys, they're not defenders. They're good 3-point shooters, a good scorers. But can you imagine Nerlens Noel healthy on a Dallas Mavericks right now with Reggie Bullock and them? That'd be a difference maker for them. Because now they got somebody who can control that paint. And Nerlens Noel, that's one thing he can do. He can control the paint. So, I mean, guys like that we have, can you imagine Derrick Rose on one of these teams? Somebody can use a Derrick Rose in the playoffs. You know what I mean? So, I mean, the Knicks are in a good spot with these veterans, man, because they didn't give them long-term deals. They kept everything minimal, 2 years with a team option in the third year. So, it's really, I got to give the front office credit, other than extending Julius Randle, which I can understand why they did it, because he had a year which I would extend him as well. But they still kept everything infrastructure-wise in place. So next year, going to the season, if these guys play, then they can be moved by the end of the season. So I'm salute to the Knicks front office for keeping everything minimal and not explode and bringing in these 5-year guys. Like, even if we were to bring in Donovan Mitchell right now, he only have 3-something years left on his contract. So it's not a bad deal. So I'm salute to them guys for doing a good job with the front office making it happen. But I'm really excited about the young team we got down here. I really want to see these guys get it popping. And go into the offseason, get better, get strong, get better, work on the game, work on your improvements that you've been doing, and get better at some new things, and put it all together collectively, and just come in and shock people, man. I think the Knicks going to shock a lot of people next year. I think the front office really see what they got there, and sometimes injury allows you to see these things. So when Derrick Rose went down, when Randall went down, when Kemba Walker went down, it gave other guys opportunities, and I think they I agree with you. I don't have a problem with Dame neither. I'm wondering about the New York Knicks. If you're gonna go fighting for the playoffs, then you bring in the big names like that. If you want to go big game hunting, if you want to say that we're going to try to fight to compete to get into the third round or the second round, then that's fine. But I don't want the Knicks to make a move to bring in somebody and they only gonna get us in the first round. You know what I mean? You might as well just build with the youth for a year or two, and then you bring in somebody to add with them, guys, because they even got more experience and got better. Then you bring in somebody who could really help but get us to that level. But because like I said, the East got better. We don't know what Chicago going to do with Zach LaVine. Are they going to trade him? Are they going to not trade him? But I mean, is he going to sign with them? You got him coming back. We don't know what Brooklyn going to do. They're going to give Kyrie extension or whatever the case may be. But you still got the Giannis's out there. You still got them teams out there, man. And the James Harden might come back to the Philadelphia 76ers. They might add somebody with them. See, now I think you got to be careful with Philly, because Philly might add somebody with Joel Embiid and James Harden. You know what I mean? You already got Tyrese Maxey flourishing down there. So we got to make sure that we don't go out there and bring in guys who are not going to really get us to where we need to go. I don't want him neither. I ain't thinking about no Kyrie headache. I'm so glad the Knicks didn't make the moves with them guys, man. I'm so happy about that. Because you know why? Look at what they're going through. Can you imagine what the Brooklyn Nets going through? That was the Knicks. We would have been a laugh out loud Knicks all year long. We gave them $100 million. We gave them, they ain't do nothing. Let that have been the Knicks that gave Kyrie and KD and them all that money and they ain't go nowhere. We would have been a laughing stock of the league. You know what I mean? So salute to the Knicks front office for not panicking. Whatever, man. But I'm looking forward to everything, man. I think we're in a good place, New York wide, man. Fan base. I think we got to feel good about the way the direction of the Knicks. We know the season didn't go the way we wanted to, but it only because of me was the injuries. I think Derrick Rose and Nerlens Noel was a huge loss for us compared to last year. Shot power. So it was a major loss. So that's the reason why we wasn't in that play-in. But Tibbs got to make adjustments this year, and the guys got to get better. Let's see how it goes, man. But I'm excited overall, man. I ain't got no complaints with the Knicks, man. I really do believe that we're gonna come back a better team next year with these young guys that we have down here.
Yeah, to revert on what you just said, Divine, with the down season from Noel and the missing games that we had from D Rose really hurt us this year. Also, we also turned the ball over. I think we were 15 turnovers a game. I think it was 14 point something, almost 15 turnovers a game, and our free throw percentage was horrible for the year. So with a little tweak to those things like that, we could have possibly been a little higher. Maybe could have made the play-in or something like that, or been more of a contention type team in the league this year. But that's neither here or there, man. The biggest thing we need to do this year is try to gather up the troops. Let some of our generals go elsewhere and take these young soldiers right now and teach them and run them through the gauntlet, man, and see if we can get to the other side. That's my main focus this year is run this youth. I don't think we need to make no real trades out there that I see that can really, if you want to do I don't even want Brogdon, but if you really trying to get off of Randall, Brogdon could be a trade. If you really want to get off of Randall, the other guy from Minnesota,
D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah, Russell. He could be someone to look for. Their money match up kind of evenly, so we wouldn't have to. Russell's is not so bad. I think his is aspiring, so that makes it a little better than Brogdon. So his is aspiring. If I'm not mistaken, I think his expires next year. So if we were looking to make a move like that, the reason why I say those moves because Randall, I don't think will have a big would really be upset to go to play with either one of his boys in either one of those teams. Turner and man, my brain farted. What's the guy in Memphis? The big guy hit the 3-pointer. What the 3-pointer this year? Yeah, man. Yeah. So if I don't think he would be opposed to going to that team as well. So if we really looking to try to move off of Randall, I think those are that we would either have to do something for Russell or we would have to do something for Brogdon. So if which one would you want, Chad? Would you rather Brogdon or would you rather Russell?
For me,
for Randall.
Oh yeah, for me, Russell, because he got a 31 million aspiring.
That's right, his is aspiring. That's exactly what I said.
Yeah, that's why I would take Russell because it's an aspiring deal, and like I said, you can ship him at the deadline. But you know what's interesting to me? If we keep Randall, right? So if we keep Randall, I'm okay with if this hypothetically, if we keep Randall, all you got to do, and let's say you do go get Brunson, it still don't affect the youth movement because I still think that if you can move Evan Fournier, Cam Reddish still can play. Cam Reddish gets to play, and if you move Fournier, Obi Toppin gets more minutes. You just got to move 2 or 3 of them guys that we got. So if you do make a move, so like you said, if you do, let's hypothetically, I'm not saying Brunson is the answer, but if the Knicks decide they want Brunson, if the Knicks decide, not me, you got Brunson, the 2, RJ, Randall, and they could bring Mitch back. I don't have a problem with that team. That's still a playoff team to me. You know what I mean? It's just that. So I do think that if they don't move Randall, then you're gonna have to bring in either you gotta quickly start or go get a point guard, a la Jalen Brunson, Donovan, whoever. If you're gonna go that route, then that's fine. Yeah, I don't think it's happening, but I do think that I know they want to trade him. I think they will get rid of him. They are going to move D'Angelo Russell because know what they're going to do, and the reason why I think they're going to do that, they can take that 31 million and get somebody to put in there that fits the way they play. I think that with the emergence of Anthony Edwards. He's a dynamic player up and down the court. I think they're looking for a point guard and down there who's going to really make a difference. DeAndre Russell, he's not that. He's a good player, but I think they can do better at that position down there. So that's why I understand why Minnesota got him on a trading block to try to get rid of that $31 million and see if they can bring in another player that's going to make a difference there. But for the Knicks, if they keep Randall, that's fine. But I do think right now, the way this team is presently constructed, if we don't make no moves, Emmanuel Quickly's point guard spot is his to lose. I believe that. I think Emmanuel Quickly goes into the off season, gets better, work on his game. He come back into training camp. I don't know if there's any point guard on the Knicks better than Emmanuel Quickly to me, to be honest. The way we presently constructed right now. Not saying that we can't bring nobody in that's better than him, but I don't think it's a point guard other than Derrick Rose, obviously. You know what I mean? Shaw Powell, but Derrick Rose is, he's not starting, I don't think. But I don't have a problem with the 4 point guards we got. They come back into the season with Emmanuel Quickly, McBride, Derrick Rose, Grimes, and Quickly at the 2. They all, especially with Quickly knowing that he can play the point guard every now and then. So even if you got Deuce McBride, Derrick Rose, and Emmanuel Quickly, you got 3 guys, and even Alex Burks, if he's still here, you got 4 guys who could hold down the point guard spot if need be, injury wise or whatever the case may be. But I think y'all got Emmanuel Quickly. Listen, man, I think he's gonna have a good, like I said, 18 games this year when he played over 30 minutes. The cat put up some crazy numbers. It wasn't only at the end of the season when he did what he did. Emmanuel Quickly was balling out since he came out of the All-Star break. You know what I mean? Like him and Fournier and them had a rough beginning of the season last year, but after the All-Star break, Emmanuel Quickly started popping. And like I said, the cat. People got to remember that Emmanuel Quickly came into Kentucky as a point guard. That's not, his whole career he was a point guard. He came into Kentucky as a point guard, but because of Tyrese Maxey, John Calipari just threw him at the 2 off the combo guard. But make no mistake, you look at his numbers, man. His numbers were better than a lot of Knicks this year at the point guard spot. So it'd be interesting to see how they go. But they got a lot of good things going on. Shaw Powers, I can't be more excited what the Knicks got going on. And I think going into season is going to be a big off season for them. The front office got a lot of stuff to think about this year. So we'll see how it's going to go. Hopefully the Knicks make the right moves, make some good decisions, and make the team better. Whether they go young or whichever way they go. We're going to be Knicks fans. We're going to support them no matter which way they go. But I do think that they got enough pieces to contend. Not contend to get in the playoffs. They just got to make the right moves. I think they just got to blend it all. Like if you keep Evan Fournier, put him on the bench, bring somebody else in, like a Grimes or a Cam Reddish, just to give you some athleticism and some energy on defense there. So I don't have a problem with that. You know what I mean? Real talk. Yeah, a lot wise. That's facts right there. Emmanuel Quickly was killing it, man. 16, 5, and 4. If you can maintain that, you don't need none of them dudes. That's 100% right there, brother. That's a good analogy right there, and I agree with you 100% on that, Shop House. If he can maintain that, you don't need to worry about them other guys.
I've been saying that for a while. I before Brunson had the outbreak in the last season when he scored when he had those great games, the 40-point games, the 30-point games, 24, 25-point games. I believe IQ is going to come back better than he was next year. I think IQ is going to be bigger. I think he's going to be stronger. I think he's going to dribble with his head up instead of dribbling to watch the ball to where he wants to shoot. I think his game it has started to change a little bit from wanting to be that shoot first point guard. He comes down, he sets up the team. We play great basketball when he's on the court. He's about 80% of the games that we played this year. IQ was finishing the game for us in the fourth quarter. I put IQ over all those Sexton, Brunson, all these guys, man. It's a couple of guys that we could possibly get, we don't have no money to get Brunson right now. Right at this point in time, right now, we have no money to get Brunson, and Mavericks are talking that they're not signing trading anybody to make the deal. If you want Brunson, you're going to have to pay him money straight up. We don't have that money right at this point in time. We don't have that money before June 30th. We don't have that money to get Brunson right now. So I think we should stay pat, run these guys that we got, try to set some of these, shred some of these contracts either in this offseason or by the trade deadline. The Noels, the Kembas first, maybe we could push one of the bigger ticket names like a Fournier or Randall. I think Randall may be here next year, but I'm not opposed to Randall if he wants to make the move. I don't want to say scared for Randall, but Randall left a bad taste in a lot of Knicks fans' mouth last year. And me personally, as a Knicks fan, I know how we can get. You know what I mean? I don't know if Randall can take another year of booze. I don't know if Randall can take another year of hearing people called off the bench for his position, like, oh, we won. Oh, I don't know if he could be able to take that again this year. You know what I mean? For a whole 82 game season, I'm not sure. You know, I just want him to make sure that he's making the right decision to come back because, you know, he's going to have to perform a la the year where he was the all-star. He's going to have to put pretty much all-star numbers up. And if we put him with all-star numbers up, that's going to take away from IQ. I mean, that's going to take away from Obi. I see Obi could possibly play some 3 or play some minutes with Julius Randle, but he's not going to get no 22, 25 minutes that way. Not if Randall comes back and has that all-star year. Obi's going to be more regulated to that bench. He's going to be from that 14 to 17, maybe 8, maybe 20 minutes a game. But with 3 or 4 of those minutes, we'll have to be to share the court with Randall. You know, at the end of quarters, Randall's getting ready to come out. Obi comes in. They play 3 or 4 minutes together. Obi takes the end of the quarter and goes into the second quarter and plays the first 7, 8 minutes or something like that. I don't know if they're going to play together on the team, and if we want Randall to listen to me, I may sound crazy sometimes, but if Randall stays here this year, Obi minutes are going to be low. So let that simmer in your head for a little bit, and if y'all hear what I say, if Randall is still here, Obi is not getting nowhere near 20 minutes a game.
That's scary. I have a big problem with that.
I'm telling you, I can see him playing some 3, but the way I see him playing the 3-pointer, I don't think he's going to start being the starter 3.
Yep, that's
you know
right.
What I mean? And at the same token, listen to me. Oh, we won't have Obi as starting as a 3 because now that means that we move RJ to the 2. And if we still keep Fournier, what are we going to do now?
Yeah, one of them got to go.
You know what I mean? What are we going to do now? Yep. I mean, let's be realistic about it. If we don't move Evan Fournier or Randall, we're not going to see much minutes for Obi, and we're not going to see that much minutes from Reddish. You know what I mean? We're not going to see much minutes from Reddish because now RJ's in the 3 position, and Fournier is in the 2 position. If we can move off of Fournier, even if we don't move off from Randall, if we can move off of Fournier, at least RJ can move down to the 2 and Reddish should get some burn at the 3, or Obi can start at the 3. I don't think Obi's going to start at the 3. I don't think Tibbs is going to start Obi at the 3. But if we want to put Obi at the 3, I think it'd be a big lineup. I think it'd be, you know, Randall could post down low and this guy could run around and Obi can run around and do as he does, but I don't know if they could cohabitate on the court together, with one playing a more post-up game and one is more running around to spots. I don't want to see Obi sitting down in the corner waiting for the 3-pointer this year because Randall's on the court, waiting for the pass to be passed down to him sitting at the 3-point line. I don't want him to see that. I want to see him slashing down low or starting to build his moves like he used to do when he was at his college team, that grab the ball, post up, drive to the hole, dunk it, lay it up, or pass. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, real talk. Let me answer Chris' question because I've been waiting to do it. Chris, do I trust her front? I do, because I think they got Scott Perry there. So I'm just answering Chris's questions that she put up earlier. I trust her front because I know Scott Perry's there. You know what I mean? And you look at all the guys that he drafted since he's been there. He kept the cap flexibility together. He drafted some good guys down there. So I'm kind of happy with what he did, man. So I do trust the front office in the aspect of long Scott Perry's there. You know, he came in there, he got Mitchell Robinson, he got RJ, he got Cam, Obi, not Cam, I'm going to say Obi, IQ. I mean, he drafted pretty well for the Knicks. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty comfortable with him, with what he's doing, Chris. So I would say that, yeah, I'm good. As far as Mitchell Robinson, I'm not sure. That's hard to say about Mitchell Robinson. I'm 50-50 if the Knicks going to keep him or not. They might will, they might not. I'm not sure. But we'll see how that go, man. But you know, I'm a Mitch dude, man. So let's hope they can get him. They come to agreement with Mitch. He could be part of this thing. But if not, then you know, we're gonna have to get Jericho Sims and draft somebody in that spot of or pick somebody there. But either my question for both of them, I'm comfortable with the front office. I have no problem with what they did in the first 2 years. They didn't sabotage anything. They just got injuries last year. And I'm moving forward. I think Mitchell Robinson is 50-50 for me. To be honest with you. Evan Fournier. You know, he stays here and he on the bench. I think if Evan Fournier going to be here, you got to move him to the bench. I just think that makes us a better team.
Not even to cut you off, Divine. Let me say this: if we move Fournier to the bench, then we stunt the growth of Reddish. Is Reddish going to be the starter then, or is Obi going to be the starter? Yep. If we put Evan to the bench, he's going to take a 2 or a 3 position, or we're going to stump Grimes. One of those players will get struck if Ever go to the bench. If Ever goes to the bench, unless Reddish plays the 4, if he plays the floor in the second unit, maybe, because Evan if he's on the second unit, Grimes might not get no play. Grimes might not get no run, or Reddish might not get no run because of Fournier. All right, I just putting that out. Let that sink in now. I'm telling y'all, if Fournier goes to the bench, one of those 2 players are going to suffer. The 2 players that we're talking about tonight, Reddish and Grimes, they're going to suffer if Evan Fournier goes to the bench.
Yep. Yo, KJ and Vince is in the building.
Salute, KJ.
You know, hey, we better late than never. That's why the dream team is always available. What's up, brother? What's going on,
fellas? Nick Real Talk family. It's been a real night. Your boy KJW Vince on the road. We got the W. Our team got the W by 3.
That's what's up.
Yes.
But let me tell you something. Let me tell you, my Nick Real Talk. I know I don't want to go off topic, right? So I'm at the AAU basketball game, right? Who do I see? The great Shaheem Holloway, who just went to the Sweet 16 or Elite 8, I forgot what it was, with his team. Talked to him for a while, had a great game. Great game. Told him he should be coming to the New York Knicks one day. Anyhow, I'm still about maybe 40 minutes from where I'm at, supposed to get home. I got my young one. Say what's up, Tone.
Hello. Tone.
Hello.
What's up, Tone?
6. Yeah, 6 points. All 3-pointers.
Go ahead, man.
Knicks Real Talk family, man. I know we talking about Cam Reddish and who was it tonight, fellas?
Quentin Grimes and Cam Reddish.
Quentin Grimes and Cam Reddish. Let me tell you something. Both of them guys can shoot 3-pointers, which is great. Both can defend. Big part of our offense and defense that we're missing, especially Cam Reddish. If we would have had more of Cam Reddish playing on that defense, we might have made that play-in game. But you know what? I want to see a full 82 games with those 2 men on the court for the New York Knicks next year, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, real talk, man. I agree, man. You know, this is one thing we also got to take into consideration. A lot of stuff we've seen from these guys that we got these young guys, it was only a small sample size too. You know what I mean? A lot of them didn't get a lot of minutes, but what you see that they have the skill set, they got the talent, they have that. So hopefully going into the all season, they work on, like I said, they work on their game, they get better, and they learn and master the NBA more. Well, here's the best thing about all this stuff. Let me answer Hurricane. I like Donovan Mitchell. I have no problem if he get here as long as you don't overpay for him. I like Donovan Mitchell. I think that's my man. I like him. You know, bring that boy back to New York City. So I'm good with that. Ohio Hurricane. I'm good with Donovan Mitchell one way or the other. But I like what all these got to do. Shout out to KJ in the chat. You know what? Like these guys, they were a lot of rookies. So you know they get better as the year go on. That's why I said I don't look at them what they did this year. I look at their projection of what they can be. See, I know what Emmanuel Quickly what he can be. I'm not gonna say Emmanuel Quickly's can't be a point guard. That's dishonest because you don't know what he might do in the off season. And one thing about the Knicks organization, that's why I brought Scott Perry's name up. He keeps them guys in the gym. Tom Thibodeau keeps them boys in the gym. They gym rats, all of them. Even Randall's a gym rat. That's what I'm happy about because I know these guys are going to get better. Look at IQ's first year. Look at Obi Toppin's first year. Look at what they did their second year. Look at RJ Barrett's first year. Look at RJ Barrett's second year. Look at RJ Barrett's third year. One thing about the Knicks organization right now, which I'm so happy about, they brought a culture there. They put a culture. We didn't have a culture back then. Now we got a culture there. And it's important that, you put your work in, you show improve, but you get better, you play. A.E. Gibson, you're 100% right. We regress in terms of wins, but the youth I'm going to hold you 100% on it. I cannot state that enough. We might have lost some wins, but we gained a lot with the young players. Because listen, man, them cats got better. And I think IQ going to get better. I think Obi Toppin. I mean, that wasn't regardless of who you might think it was, the man dropped 42 points in the NBA, period. You know what I mean? You can't underestimate that, So I think we got a bright spot, future moving ahead, everybody. Let's hope that we continue this maturation, keep the growth going, keep these guys in the gym, make them get better every night, and come into this off season. And let's see what they do, man. Let's hope they pop. Whatever the decision the front office make, us as Knicks fans, we're going to support the team no matter what.
Right.
We disagree with what they did. We might not like the moves they made, but at the end of the day, we're going to root for our boys to win every night. So I'll play GM I'll play GM up on the stream, but I know it's really on them guys up there in Madison Square Garden to get it popping, so to see what we're going to do. But I'm confident though. Shop Powell and KJ in chat. I'm confident that the New York Knicks front office is going to make this thing. Make it better. Like I said, things happen in the NBA. Listen, we ain't the only team that think about the Lakers. We had injuries, but look at the Lakers though. The Lakers had 3 Hall of Famers didn't do what we did. So it's not really only about the Knicks. It's a lot of teams who had high expectations, but the season went the wrong way. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook, all these guys, man, they had high expectations, but because of injuries, because of this and that, they regress a little bit. So I'm excited about the Knicks moving forward, man. And we get it popping, KJ. And I think we're gonna be all right.
Absolutely, man. We just, like I said, we got to take it one step at a time. Not sure everything brothers covered tonight, but I can only assume it went something like, it's one of those things with the New York Knicks. It's a double-edged sword. What team are we going with? Are we going? We talked about it before. Are we going with just the rebuild? Are we going to keep the same young team? Are we going to add some more pieces here and there? What are we going to do? We're not sure, but what we want to see is a Karen Reddish for a full season. We want to see a Quentin Grimes for a full season in his second year because it could be magic, and we can save a lot of money with those players right now, So let's see what those two players can bring to the table for the New York Knicks. Again, I'm fine with either or, what decision they're going to make, but I really think they're going to make a small move and keep some of the players they got right now.
Yeah, real talk. It's Shop Howard, man. We got a few minutes before we get ready to get up out of here and everything like that. But KJ, man, you get and make sure you're on the road, be safe, and to keep your eyes on the road, brother. You got them beautiful young kids up in there, so we don't want to distract you from that. But thanks for coming in, fam, my brother, man. And Sunday night, guys, the player review 9 and 10. It's going to be Quentin Grimes and Jericho Sims on Sunday. So we do the player review. 2 more players are going to be Quentin Grimes and Jericho Sims. We're going to get into them guys. We're going to break them down, get into that stuff, man. But, let's real talk, man. Salute to the chat, man. UCAS is the best. I cannot state that thing enough. Y'all keep supporting the show, hitting them like and subscribe buttons, and we're going to keep dropping this content, man. Knicks Real Talk, we're here all day, every day. You know what I mean? It is real talk, man. And y'all guys enjoy your Friday. Y'all, whatever y'all doing, man, and your endeavors out there tomorrow, get on your grind, your hustle, whatever. Y'all be safe. And hold it down, man. Go Knicks, go Mets, and the Rangers is trying to hold it down. If all you hockey fans, let's see what they're gonna do. I got these Yankee boys in here. They always coming up. You see where he at. We're gonna get it popping though. We're gonna get to the Subway Series, and we're gonna get them Bronx Bombers. But listen, salute to the Jets and the Giants on a good draft, man. We did all well, man. New York sports is gonna be fun right now. Like I told y'all hear me out. The Brooklyn Nets will not win a championship before the New York Knicks. They would not win a championship for the New York Knicks. And I think the Knicks gonna make some things happen, man. We just gotta stay tuned in, locked in, and hope the front office keep continuing to get better, Shop Howard. But I think we're gonna be good though.
Yeah, I think we're on a good upside right now, man. I just hope that we let this team marinate a little bit, you know what I mean, and grow for the future, man. If we could expunge some of these contracts that we got to build us some cap space, man. I'm not opposed of letting IQ come out this year and see what he has as being that point guard. As long as we don't have to spend the cap money if we could get some cap money up, as long as we don't have to spend too much of it. I, I, if we're looking for Donovan Mitchell, we're looking for two of our young guys to go. We're looking at probably Grimes and IQ to go, plus about 3 or 4 first round picks and 2 or 3 second round picks. I'm not with that. We got five, I think 5 or 6 picks next year and 2 first round picks. I'm not with for Donovan Mitchell. Where we gonna fit him in? I'm not sure. I mean, we're still missing the point if we bring Donovan Mitchell in here. He's not a point guard. You know what I mean? So we Brunson, I think his contract. I think he's going to be asking for 25 million if the Mavs don't keep him. And some of these other contracts like the Sextons I don't think we need to make that money. We don't have the money for it right now. At this point, we don't have the money for it now anyway. So let's see if we can stretch some of these contracts, hold on to some cap space to the trade deadline, see who we can move at the trade deadline, and let this team run amok for next year. I think this team can try to propel themselves into at least a playoff team, at least a play-in team next year. I think we can hold down the 7th, 8th, or 9th position with the team. We had to sign Mitch also. I hope we can. That's one of the things in the working of trying to get Mitch to be signed this year. So let's see what happens this offseason, man. Every day, there's new things out on Twitter and Instagram and on YouTube and stuff like that about who could be traded and all this stuff. Now, I mean, I just hope we make some smart moves. I trust this front office to do the right thing. They've been doing pretty good. I mean, there's a couple of trade deadlines that I think they could have made a move or something like that. But to stay fast and not get fleeced, I'm with that 100% as well.
Yeah. Salute to the chat. Salute to my man, probably Nerd Hector.
Yes, sir.
Game. All y'all, salute to the whole chat, man. Y'all cats
yes,
got
sir.
Real talk,
Peace.
man. We're going to get up out of here in a few. And I just want to say thank you to everybody for supporting the show, man. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe. Tell a friend. Tell a friend.
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Knicks Real Talk. We in the building all day, every day. We're going to keep this thing going, man. And thank y'all again for support, man. We'll hit y'all with a little bit of the Nick Real Talk promo. We got me and Shaw Powers and them, man. Just a little something to change your mind up and everything. The intro to the new show coming up. Just a little bit of bar, just a little bit of this and that, man. I'm just having fun with it. It's all good. To chat is where it's at, and y'all just keep us locked in, man. And we'll see y'all Sunday. We're gonna do Quentin. We're gonna do Jericho Sims and Deuce McBride player review number 9 and 10. Player 9 and 10. We're gonna get that popping and talk about everything else. And y'all be safe out there, man. On the weekend, enjoy your weekend and everything like that. And man, don't forget, man. Mother's Day is around the corner, man. Make sure y'all go bless the mothers, man. Real talk. You know what they do for us, man. So let's get it popping, man. We out of here. Shaw Powers, KJ Events, my brother. Give me your last word before we get up out of here. And we'll see you, brothers. Peace to the go-up. Peace.
Hey, as always, Nick Real Talk family, thank you for allowing me to come on the platform. Hey, I was a little late, but I'm here on the road on my way home. Let's get it. Shy and Devon, thank you for holding the fort down.
Yes, sir.
And I'll be back on Sunday night with you all.
Peace.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. We out of here. Here we go, man. Drop a little joint, man. Let's get it popping. Nick's Real Talk, Shaw Powers, KJ Events. We in the building. The chat is where it's at. And everybody, man. Nick's Real Talk, man. We out, man. Peace to everybody, man. Y'all enjoy your night. Time for Divine Shaw, KJ Events. Nick's Real Talk is the brand. Someone is down. We represent ever since. I'm on that Friday night. Nigga shit tripping up in the world. Most famous arena. Seen with the Dream Team conglomerate. From Nick's Real Talk, we real prominent. So I'm a bit more the Omicron variants and dominant. Paying homage to the cats in the chat. That's where it's at. When I'm hearing that, we don't give our purview. We straight facts. We interact with the mobs and the gods. I'm on the pause, my squad, no facade. My entourage, we on the job. My energy, getting keeping the gym boots. Execute my game plan and my brand. and salute and pursuit. We going hard like the New York City gritty committee. Cause that's the mix ain't always pretty, but we all stay giddy. We embrace the fact basic to lick Anthony Mate. We trace the logo on his real space at a paler square space. We staring down from the chase bridge, looking at Nick City trip. City Justice on the court, looking pretty legit. I stay true to the orange and blue. I wrote you need to hit a few bars. The chant is hard to find, I'm outlaws. Nick's real talk. Here we go, let's go. 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 Let's get it. Yo, salute everybody, man. I see y'all cats on the next episode. I'll run it again. And hope we'll get it right for y'all. Man, that's a little tip of the iceberg right there. How we get it down. Salute to everybody. Thank y'all for chiming in. Child Powers, KJ, man. I see y'all brothers in the chat is where it's at. Salute to everybody. We're gonna get a pop Sunday. We're doing it all over again all day, every day. Next we'll talk, man. We out of here. Salute to the chat. Salute everybody, man. Peace.